We will now proceed to the second type of file sharing, which is sharing a file as an editor. In this type of file sharing, we will be sharing the file to the same email address that we have used from the previous lecture. I will now shift my screen to the browser so we could start discussing. I am now back to my original account. Earlier, we have shared the water cycle file to one person as a commenter. This time, I will modify the access level of the commenter to editor. To do that, you go to the upper right-hand corner of the screen and click on Share. It says Shared with one person. I'll click on this button. Here, under Share with people and groups, indeed, we have shared it to one person as a commenter. I'll click on this arrow down and change this to editor and click on Save. It says permission updated right here. And this time, we will now go shift to the other account. Okay, I am now logged in to the account to whom we have shared the file with as an editor. So here, it's still the same content, the same file. And here on the right side, instead of a green box, we now have a blue box, and it says editing or editing mode. When we click on this, it says editing, suggesting, and viewing. We can now do all those three. And when you do editing, it says edit document directly. Let's try to do that. I'll highlight step number 1 and press delete on my keyboard. As you may have noticed, it is no longer crashed out, but it has been automatically deleted. No need for the approval from the original owner. I'll do that one more time. I'll erase step 2 and press delete. This time, let's add other modifications. Under evaporation, I'll highlight the underlined word evaporation and I'll set this to bold, Control B. Notice also that right now, as I am highlighting it, there are two other icons that appear adjacent to this. And these are Add Comment button and Suggest Edits. Let's try the Add Comment and click on this. It says comment or add others with at. I'll just comment. So I'll say modify formatting and click on comment. When we do suggest edits, let's try this. When you do suggest edits, it says you are suggesting, okay? And when I do the same thing with condensation right here, when I select Control B as well, you have here this thing, and you are now considered as a commenter, no longer an editor, since you changed your access rights. So you now have here the check and the X button, the accept and reject for the original owner to decide, okay? I'll now go back to editing mode. And if I select a word or words and set it to bold, there's no need for an approval from the original owner. Okay, let's now proceed to the other things that an editor can do. Let's go back to, let's proceed now to adding additional collaborators. So here, I'll go to the upper right-hand corner and click on Share button. I'll try to add other collaborators. I'll click here and type an email, a valid email. I'll, I'll set this person as a commenter and click on Send. It says person added. So that's how you add a collaborator as an editor. In the same way, an editor could also remove collaborators from the list. To do that, we'll click exactly the same button and we'll remove this user, the third person on the list. We'll remove this from the list by clicking on this arrow and go to the last option and select remove. And we'll click on save. And that's how you delete a collaborator or remove a collaborator from the list. In order for the editor to add files, the first step is we have to share the folder first. Right now, what we have shared is only the file, the water cycle file. But if you would go back to your drive, this folder named Science Class has not been shared to anyone. Okay, so first thing should be that this Science Class should be shared. So I'll select this folder and go back to the Share button. Okay, it says Share Science Class, and we will share this to that same person, and we'll share this as to her as an editor. I'll click on Send. So right now, it should be clear to you that sharing of files and sharing a folder are two different things. When you share a folder, everything inside that folder has been shared. But if it's only a file, it's only that particular file that has been shared. This time, I'll go to the other account so we could see what we could do as an editor to the shared folder. I am now logged in to the editor of the file, Water Cycle. After we have shared the folder, this is now the view of the Water Cycle file. It is now within the folder named Science Class, and it has been shared to people. This is the part that I could now add additional files within this folder. Right now, I'll open my science folder and add here the rain folder. This is another Word document, and it's here within the file. Of course, since I was the one who added this, I could also delete this. Right-click and select Remove. This is now the end of sharing a file to people and groups. On the next topic, it's about sharing a file using the link.